shows a man inches away from death after the evil clowns had already removed all skin from his face and other body parts. But this is not the only chilling part of the video, something that shows the true nature of Morales and his gang. And for what it's worth, the CJ&G is the way the men taunt their victim.
Gang, I'm lost for words.
The Jalisco New Generation Cartel took the fight to the next level, shooting down a military helicopter with a rocket-propelled grenade.
Tonight,
Come on,
the
bro.
DEA is offering 10...
Oh, no, I'm scared.
Do you have an irrational fear of clowns? If not, you might develop one by the end of this video. For a long time now, popular culture has depicted clowns as creepy or even evil, from the Stephen King's It to the Joker. These infamous characters might explain the irrational fear of clowns, at least a little bit. But what if I told you such clowns exist in real life? The Jalisco New Generation Cartel, or CJ&G, has been
heard about CJ&G. Now, they get wicked. Okay? Now, I want to tell you something right now. I ain't no say nothing against those guys. I just watched the video. Please leave me alone. I don't have no problem. Please.
Terrorizing Mexico for over a decade now, and they are by far more brutal than their enemies, the Sinaloa Cartel, and even Pablo Escobar's empire. Now they have an army of evil clowns who torture rival cartel members to death and film their horrific deeds. It's hard to imagine something like this is real and is happening right now. This is the full story of Fabian Urbino Morales and his sick clown army. Before we go on, I must warn you, the following video contains very graphic details.
Bro, I'm scared, bro. I'm glad I'm watching this video in the daytime. Do your homework.
So in 2009, El Mencho started his own cartel. Initially, it was called Los Torcidos, or the Twisted Ones. Considering what they ended up doing, perhaps this name was more fitting than Jalisco New Generation Cartel.
Now, I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to stop Paul, but I'm going to let y'all know something. A lot of these in Chicago, Baltimore, Detroit, Dallas, all these places where all these hood savages be thinking they savage. Go play with the amigos and see how long you last.
CJ&G is the single criminal organization most responsible for these deaths on both sides of the border.
The Jalisco New Generation Cartel took the fight to the next level, shooting down a military helicopter with a rocket-propelled grenade.
Tonight, the DEA is offering $10 million for information leading to the arrest of the Mexican drug kingpin known as El Mencho.
El Mencho was inspired by Los Zetas cartel and its militarized structure. He, however, took it to the next level, arming thousands of violent men with huge rifles, army tanks, and grenades.
And in July, footage would emerge of that CG&G convoy. These gunmen call themselves the Elite Group and pledge allegiance to El Mencho. They're armed with assault rifles with grenade launchers attached to the barrel, heavy machine guns, and also this gun. This is a .50 caliber sniper rifle. It's a power.
This look like a motherfucking call. This look like the beginning of a Warzone match when they showing all your teammates, man.
Powerful weapon that the CJ&G loves to show off.
The CJ&G rules by fear, kidnapping, torture, and killing anyone who stands in their way. Sometimes it's rival cartels, and other times it's police officers, and even civilians. They have no regard for human life. All they care about is making money and spreading the message that they are now in charge. But El Mencho doesn't just do this with military weapons and an organized structure. He also recruits the absolute worst people in Mexico. One of them is Fabian Urbino Morales, aka El Payaso. El Payaso means the clown in Spanish. Creepily enough, Fabian Morales did work as a clown at the circus. Then, he traded his clown suit for guns, machetes, and knives, but he kept the mask. Fabian Morales used to work for Los Metros cartel, which was a smaller faction of the Gulf cartel, operating from Reynosa at the border with Texas. Morales quickly climbed Los Metros.
Hey, what's the difference between a cartel, a gang, and like what's the difference between like what is a cartel just Spanish for gang?
Brought a new level of psychopathic violence to the gang. He and his own henchmen all wearing the same horrible clown mask, but the terrifying gang didn't earn a name just for their masks. They had incredibly gruesome methods of dealing with the rival cartel members.
In this place, Mencho and his people recruited them when they saw the way they executed their rivals. They put them in gasoline drums.
El Mencho saw Morales and his gang burning and flaying his victims alive. For him, this was proof that Morales would make a great captain. As I said, El Mencho recruits the very worst people around.
Right. Did he say?
Fabian Morales became El Mencho's trusted man, so trusted that El Mencho encouraged him and his henchmen to keep wearing the terrifying masks. After all, CJ&G's end goal is to spread as much pain as possible.
I'm good, bro. I would be.
Morales became one of the commanders of the criminal structure of Miguel Fernandez, LM2, lieutenant of one of the CJ&G's regions, with his most evil side encouraged by El Mencho. It wasn't long before Morales became one of Mexico's worst real-life monsters. By the 2010s, there was another problem. Cartel members could easily film videos of their most brutal acts and upload them to the internet. This spread a clear message.
Where they
Don't mess with
upload them
us.
to?
It was a message to rival cartels as well as anyone else watching. But I can't stress this enough. Do not watch these kinds of videos.
Nah, I'm
They
good.
only
You ain't gotta worry
damage your
about
mental
me.
health. There's nothing good that comes out of watching something like this. Warning. Very graphic details ahead.
Oh, shit.
Skip ahead the next couple minutes if you don't want to hear the contents of the cartel video.
Y'all heard him. You better skip them.
It's unclear whether the infamous Quiero Agua video was done by Fabian Morales under his orders or just by his vile henchmen. In the video, the CJ&G clowns have kidnapped a rival cartel member, most likely a former member of La Familia. The victim has never been identified, as the video begins with a flipped face.
What
The
does that
30-second
mean? What's
video
flayed?
shows a man inches away from death after the evil clowns had already removed all skin from his face and other body parts. But this is not the only chilling part of the video, something that shows the true nature of Morales and his gang. And for what it's worth, the CJ&G is the way the men taunt their victim.
Gang, I'm lost for words. Do you know how you gotta be to take the skin off of my face and his whole body? Bro.
Mocking him and laughing at his pain. At one point, the men kept asking him if he wants water, but imagine having to talk without a face.
¿Agua? ¿Sí? Dime recio. Que me digas con la boca.
The man wheezes in pain. It's pretty clear he just wants to die.
Or at this
but the
point-
clowns keep taunting him, keeping him alive for as long
That's
as possible.
crazy, bro.
His voice is raspy and weak, but this only amuses the clowns. Seeing a scene like this in a horror movie could be enough to give you sleepless nights
Right.
and maybe even anxiety attacks.
Right.
So it's hard to comprehend how a bunch of people could do this to another human being, being inches away from it, and laugh at it. Just how many things have to go wrong for someone to end up like these clowns? To think Fabian Morales and his henchmen were once babies.
Right,
Can you
bro.
imagine the violence they witnessed, or perhaps even suffered, before they became these psychopathic monsters?
Yeah, like that don't just happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he said, like he about to say,
No animal would do this.
no animal would do this, bro. Even an animal who hunts for they food is gonna get him out of here quickly so I can eat and go about my business. If I didn't have to do this, I wouldn't really be doing it. You know, if a lion didn't have to, lions just don't go around smoking other animals. If a lion wasn't hungry, he wouldn't, if he didn't have to do this to eat, he wouldn't do it. Do you know how sick you gotta be?
Animals kill for now. It's probably time to ask, what are the police doing about this?
Not a
Evil
thing.
clowns drive their cars and expose their guns in broad daylight, and if they blatantly post videos of torture and death, how are they not in prison already? Well, you'll be pleased to know Fabian Morales has finally been arrested.
Oh, thank
In
God.
October 2019, the CJ&G orchestrated a huge ambush on the police, taking the lives of 13 officers.
Damn.
Caucho, una aguililla, caucho, heridos, X13, caucho.
Damn.
This wasn't the first time the CJ&G was targeting police officers and taking more than a dozen lives in one day. But this time, the police used the ambush as a perfect context to launch their own operation. So in January 2020, the Michoacan police launched a huge sting operation on the CJ&G. At least, they got their hands on El Payaso and a few of his henchmen. Interestingly enough, this was the same sting operation that ended the life of La Catrina.
Tranquila, mija, ya viene el helicóptero por ti. Ya viene el helicóptero. Tranquila, hija, tranquila. Vas a estar bien. Trata de aguantar,
La Catrina had joined CJ&G back in 2017 when she was just 19, but she had such an extreme thirst for that she was soon propelled to hit squad commander.
What the
Mencho
hell?
encouraged her drive to torture and kill, and even supported her regular hits on police officers.
What?
That's right. La Catrina had given the order of the October ambush. The Michoacan police even had a recording of her voice ordering the hit. There was no way she would get out of this. While Katrina was hit in the jugular, she succumbed to her wounds in the helicopter on the way to the hospital. The same couldn't be said about Fabian Morales and his fellow evil clowns. They were arrested and taken to prison.
Okay.
As news of his arrest made headlines throughout Mexico, it became clear that El Payaso had another brother in the CJNG.
I ain't gonna lie though, too. On the police side, you know how much of a gangster you gotta be? FBI, open up! You know how much of a savage gangster you gotta be to join the police in Mexico? Y'all is insane, bro. This is this is some of the, like, man.
El Payaso is the...
They make a big ass war. See, we be thinking we doing something in the U.S. when, like, somebody passed away from the police or something and we go riot and break in the shit and steal. These go get rockets, grenades, and missiles and go smoke everybody and then come to the politicians and say, okay, so what you gonna do? You gonna let our drugs pass? Or you gonna keep, what you want? You want to keep smoking? You want to blow this up? We can blow this whole building up too. These got grenades and missiles. Armored trucks, my guy. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Fabian Morales is in prison. This means